Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well. So, I'm gonna give you a bit of context to this video. I'm really into D&D. If you didn't know before, you know now. And I've created a new character called Grimsby, and she's a bard. And I essentially want to cosplay her for May, for London MCM. And I'm gonna make like a video series on how I create the cosplay, because I feel like if I don't do something like that, I'm gonna procrastinate to the very last minute and then I won't have a good costume. And I need a good costume because I'm gonna be meeting the cast of Critical Role at it, and you know, it's a big deal for me. It's a really big deal because I love Critical Role, I love the cast, I think they're all fantastic, and I really want to just, I know like they probably won't remember me at all, but I kind of want to leave a little bit of an impression. So I'm going as my own original character, and I'm making her costume from scratch out of like semi-abandoned projects that I had before that I kind of think that they suit the aesthetic. So I'm going to be starting with just making the beret. This is the beret here. I'll take it off. Ooh, hat hair. So I've basically embroidered this midnight blue velvet beret, and it's got like a little bow at the back, and it's like elasticated with picot elastic. And so this is the beret, and I've got like the fancy embroidery on the back of it. This is the first beret I've ever made. I'm not gonna lie, it could be better, but I'm pretty damn happy with how it turned out. And even the bow, like, that wasn't originally part of the design. I had a totally different idea in my head of the design, but it kind of evolved a little bit beyond that, because you know the way a lot of bards have like the feather coming out of their hat? I thought that might have been a bit too cheesy, so I wanted something that had an accent colour relating back to her outfit. Plus, when I elasticated the beret, it was still a little bit too loose for my liking. Like, I wanted it to feel like secure to my head, because when you're in crowds, you know, if you bump off someone, like, it could fall off. So I just added the bow as a way to like cinch it in that extra ½ inch, just to make it feel like it's sitting safely on the head without sliding off, because it was fine before. It could have been a bit tighter. So that's how the bow came about, and it actually, there's gold in her outfit, so it's a nice accent to the gold. So, rambling aside, let's get into the video. I'm going to start with the embroidery, and I'm just going to add here that I've already pre-cut my fabric before filming. So I basically took a big dinner plate and traced around it because it looked like the right size. I'm kind of winging it based on what I know from other berets. So I'm going to embroider my skeleton design onto this big floppy circle, but what I've also done, and you can probably see it in the video, is that I've backed it with some paler blue corduroy just to give it a bit more structure and a bit more support for the embroidery. Coco wants cuddles. She's so cute and needy, but I love her so much, so I decided to stop and take a cuddle break with my pupper. Also, I think it's cool to mention that this is the first embroidered picture that I've done. Like, I've done embroidery before for college, but that was more abstract and mixed media, but this is the first proper embroidery that I've ever done, and it is taking forever. But I hope it turns out well in the end, because I think it's going to be so worth it. So now that the embroidery is finally finished and I'm really happy with it, I'm going to attach the top of the beret to the band. So the band I've just cut out, it's basically a big circle with another big circle cut out of it, kind of like a really big skinny donut, if you get me. I'm sure you do. And we're just going to pin the donut to the embroidery right sides together and sew around the edges. Before I turn the beret right way around again, I'm just going to trim away the excess seam allowance, and this is going to give the beret a more clean shape around the seams, and it'll be easier to turn out without getting that kind of lumpy vibe. So I've cut an 18-inch piece of elastic to go around the edge of my beret just to help cinch it in and make it sit more like a hat. And you want to make sure, if you're making one yourself, that the elastic measures around 4 or 5 inches shorter than the diameter of your hat, and that will help it cinch in and make it stretch. And I've just pinned the 4 sides of the elastic so that it'll stretch evenly. Now, whether it works or not for me is debatable. So there we have it, that's the beret done. Part 1 done of the cosplay. Part 2 will either be the bloomers or the top, depending on how complicated they are. Like, I've done bloomers and all before in the past, but I want to do a different style of bloomers, so depending on work and commitments and all, whichever one is the easiest I'll do next, and then I'll save like the complicated corsetry and all till last. So, but hey, the beret is done and it is actually super cute. Like, it just sits nicely there. And it's got like this embroidered pattern. It's really different. I put a lot of hours into it. Like, the embroidery took most of a day. So, yeah. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying my content. If you have any video ideas of your own that you would like me to cover, please leave them in the comment section below. I like to hear from my viewers and see their input. And be sure to check out the Pinky Don't Mosh website and the store if there's anything on there that you like. I will be updating it every so often to match up with the sewing tutorials that I do on here. So the link for that will be below. And just have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!